Hello you all. Welcome to this new edition of Lectio Musica, the place for great lyrics, great music and great meaning. My name is Guylain Prince. I'm a Franciscan friar from Canada and I love rock music for a long time now, especially hard rock, metal and prog. And every week, well, not every week, usually once a week, I listen to one song with you guys. I take the time to look at the lyrics and I bring to you my thoughts on the song without any pretension of any kind. I'm just doing that in my spare time. And sometimes I simply don't have spare time, like last week. That's why I missed 1 week. Most of the time, every week, I do it quite faithfully, but I have to admit that doing that as a leisure, pleasure time to be with you, when I have work all the way up to my head, I have to postpone a little bit. But don't worry, it will just be the next week after. I'm there for a long time. I will do that whenever I have a little bit of spare time. Don't have that much, but I spare it. I take the time with you guys. So this week we are continuing our journey through a Nightwish, their living history through the songs of their repertoire. As you can see, this is the 19th of 24 videos. You probably know that before these 24, there was the whole album, Human Nature. So that's a few videos, and most of the time I have a reaction video and an analysis video. But since this new series, since 14 to 24, I combined the two because, again, it's a little bit better for me to put everything into one video from now on. Maybe I'll go back to the previous format, but for now it works fine for me, and it seems to please quite a lot of people, because since I did that, the ratings, the number of visitors skyrocket quite a lot. So I will continue with that format for a little while, and we will see what we will do for the future. As for now, we do a song called I Want My Tears Back. Now, I remind you that this video is divided in 3 sections. First, I will react to the studio version that I never heard, never seen any video about it, so it will be brand new for me. The second part will be a short analysis of the song. I've read carefully the lyrics. I had an idea what it was talking about, but I read carefully the lyrics this morning for the first time. You will have the result of that analysis. And thirdly, you will have the reaction to a live version. Many of you suggested me Wacken 2013, but most of you suggested the Buenos Aires 2018, a video that I already saw and love. I used it in one other video called for the song Harvest. I explain how folk trad, what we call folk or trad metal in Canada, in Quebec, or folk metal in the world, how it can bring together two genres of music with great efficiency. So don't forget, you can go immediately to the reaction you want, videos to the lyrics or to the live version at the end, and in between, the analysis of the song. Ready? Let's go. This is from the album of Imaginarium, published in 2011. This is the 5th song. It comes after the song Ghost River and Slow Love Slow. I already said that, never heard the recording version. So don't forget, you can subscribe to that channel, and let's go immediately to the song in its original version with lyrics. As you know, I prefer to really focus on the lyrics first, and after that, yeah, I want to see a video from Nuclear Blast. I love them, but for this one we will go to the lyric video. So let's go immediately listen to the song original version by Nightwish. I Want My Tears Back. 3, 2, 1.
I want my tears back.
Oh wow, what a charge of energy. This is okay. I know this song in Buenos Aires. I've been listening to the video. I have listened to the video of Buenos Aires when I did the video on Harvest of the last album. Somebody just sent me that video and I watched it, and I even put a little I think 30 seconds of it in the comment I made on Harvest. Since then, I've watched it 4 or 5 times pretty much. Lately, I showed it to someone, a friend of mine, about a month ago. Okay, this is the first time I remember quite well. I'm really eager to hear it again at the end of this video. I remember the mix of the version of Buenos Aires. From my point of view, the mix of Buenos Aires breathes very well. There's a lot of space. Spatially, the instruments are very well placed. This one, everything is compressed in your face. So you have an impression of very strong wish that we get it. I know it's the fashion right now in mixing and what we call the mastering. In your face, everything is very powerful, full blown in your ears. This is the kind of mix we have here. What I prefer most of the time, the voice of Marco live than Marco on the studio. I think only, even then, even for the 7 Days to the Wolf, I like very much the studio version, and I love him very much in the live version. So, but most of the time I prefer the Marco today than the one, for example, that we have on Century Child, on Once. I prefer, he has a deeper voice, richer voice today than he used to have at the time. This is the first song that Annette, for me, maybe I already know too much the Floors version. Annette is perfect for the verses. She has a very, almost a girly, little girl voice in there. So the contrast between her and I would say the adult Marco, I think makes a great contrast for the chorus, not the chorus, the verse, but in the chorus, it's a little bit too thin. The voice to me is a little bit too thin. There's a strong wish, a strong will in the chorus, and for the first time, because I absolutely love the album Deep Passion Play. This is, since I did the analysis of 3 songs of the Dark Passion Play, I have to say it became one of my favorite albums, and certainly my favorite album of Nightwish until now. I love Dark Passion Play. The album is phenomenal to me. In that album, I don't feel that Annette is out of her shoes. She's in the right place. She does what she has to do very well. On this song, I'm not sure that I don't like everything of Annette on this song, but the song is great. This is very good writing and of course the topic. So let's go immediately in the meaning of the song. Let's dig into the meaning of the song. Everything begins with this call. I want my tears back. Both Marco and Annette. And there goes the beat, the rhythm, the energy, everything is there right from the start. I have to make a small note here. It is not often that we see with, in terms of dynamics, I think that Thomas is one of the most efficient composers to work with dynamic, and he likes to make a progression during a song. In that one, this song begins full trumpets, full band, everything is there already. And he will have to slow down during that song to give a little bit of breathing space before the final. So it's quite unusual, I would say, from what I know of Thomas, to be very high level. In technical words, we say high density in terms of sound. Everything is to the roof, to the ceiling, I should say. Okay, so let's go into the first verse. The treetops, the chimney, the snowbed stories winter grey, wildflowers, those meadows of heaven, wind in the wheat, a railroad across waters, the scent of grandfatherly love, blue bayous, Decembers, moon through the dragonfly's wing. I don't know for you, but to me, half of these words refers to stories of my childhood, or stories that I've heard about since I'm grown up as well. Treetops, the chimneys, how many? Mary Poppins, Santa Claus, snowbed stories. Why the bed? It's a play on a word here. Bed stories we tell children in their way for the night. Snowbed. Why is that a snowbed? Probably it refers to a story where the protagonists are in a snowbed. I don't know that story, but I would bet on that. Winter grey, wildflowers, those meadows of heaven, which is a title of the last song of the previous album, but certainly refers to a story again. Wind in the wheat, railroad across the waters. I cannot say everything this is this, but I'm certain that it refers to stories, fruit of imagination, maybe even children's stories. What they call the pre-chorus is in fact it's the chorus, but with the two last lines being different. And the way they built it is that in this case it's Annette. The second one will be sung by Marco, and then there will be Annette or Marco, and then the two of them. There will be a progression from that pre-chorus to the chorus being the only one that will be sung at the end of that song. Where is the wonder? Where's the awe? Where's the Alice knocking on the door? Where's the trap door that takes me there? Where the real is shattered by the mad March air? So there's a clear reference of Alice in Wonderland, both by the name Alice and by the mad March air, the rabbit. Okay, and so where is the wonder? And quite a rare word in modern English, the awe. The awe here is not the fear. Awe is the attitude of the one who is in front of a mystery or something beyond himself or herself. So where's the awe? What is that beautiful openness of the mind and of the heart in front of something that we don't understand or fully understand? Where is the wonder? You understand that what? Where is Alice knocking at the door so that she can enter the world of fantasy? Where is that trap door that takes me there? There is the world of fantasy, the world of imagination, where the real is shattered by the, you remember Alice in Wonderland, where everything of real life is there, but completely transformed in a way, and the real is shattered or caricatured or transformed or seen otherwise, from a very imaginative point of view. Here you have what they call the chorus. It's on the official site of, they use Genius Lyrics, I think. So this is what Nightwish published on their own site for the lyrics of the songs. So where is the wonder, where's the awe? So these are two questions. Where are the sleepless nights I used to live for? Those sleepless nights that were the great manifestation of imagination, where my imagination exploded. I wonder if it refers to the simply living in imagination, or a creative moment that happened during the night. And I think Thomas, being a Finnish, experience very long nights in winter. Not to say that maybe he lives above the Arctic Circle. I don't know, Kitty. Where is Kitty? I should look for that. But one thing for sure is that the nights are very, very long. Those nights in which the imagination has a lot of space. Maybe a little bit because of fear, maybe, but mostly because we don't work, we don't do things like in daylight, and the night leaves the whole space for imagination. Before the years take me, I wish to see the lost in me. Before death comes, I want to see what has been lost in me. What is it that the person loses with time, with the passing of time? We will see that. I want my tears back. I want my tears back now. So the person lost something, but in that something there are tears. There are tears. Tears is part of that something they lost. A ballet on a grove, still growing young, all alone. A rag doll, a best friend, the voice of Mary Costa. I don't remember. I've read What is Mary Costa. Sorry, maybe you will write down. I just forgot, because since I looked for the lyrics, I forgot the reference. But again, all ideas of this ballet on a grove, still growing young, all alone, still growing young, all alone, growing young, youth, all alone by himself, rag doll, best friend, friendship, youth, the voice of Mary Costa, an audio memory of something. I know, pretty sure. Oh, I remember now. She is a classical singer who sang the voice, is it of Snow White, in a Disney movie, one of the great classics of Disney, and she is the one singing the voice of one of the main character. So it's a reminder. I remember her voice. The memory, the audio memory, is a pure joy, with the best friend, with that's nice, isn't it? Again, you already did know that pre-chorus, no need to come back, and then there is the chorus song by Marco. And notice again, the before the years takes me, before to see the lost in me. And you see that Annette and Marco, they sing again. So The chorus is repeated 2 times. So there's the pre-chorus, the chorus, only Marco, and the chorus, Annette and Marco. A lot of question. Where is the where is the where is the where is where? Questions, questions, questions. That's the core of the song. I want my tears back now. The instrumental break in that song is absolutely great. For me, there is a love for traditional music of the world. I've been living in a city where for more than 30 years there was a festival of music from all around the world. It was called the Mondial of Culture. It was the most important traditional music festival in North America for many years. So I've been listening to traditional music from everywhere, including Finnish music, Swedish music, Russian, Ukraine, Poland, Bulgaria, Turkey. Yeah, a lot of music, Celtic music. This is pure Celtic music, probably mainly Irish, I would say Irish, maybe Scottish. It is wonderful. The instrument, though, is Irish. If I'm not mistaken, the Aeolian pipe is Irish. And the sound is gorgeous. The energy is incredible in that section. And the joy that you live in when you hear that is wonderful, wonderful. Where's the wonder? Where's the awe? You know that. You know the chorus repeated. I want my tears back now. Okay, let's now go back to the structure of the song. I would put the A, I want my tears back now. The first thing, the opening, will be the very last. So there's a call. We call this an inclusion, first and last words. That it means basically that the song is calling to recover the tears. There's an opening, instrumental opening, and then you have the 2 verse. Well, they say 1 verse, but in fact it's 2 times the same structure. And then you have the pre-chorus, the chorus, which is represented here as C prime, and I want my tears back in A. You have again a verse, the what they call the second verse. And there you have C prime, which means 2 times the chorus. And I want my tears back now, and the long instrumental section, which is gorgeous, infectious. And you notice that at the end it's only C prime, and then there is I want my tears. So very unusual structure. We don't see that. Of course you could say it's a verse, chorus, verse, chorus, but you have verse, pre-chorus that is pretty much or very close to the chorus, and then the chorus, and then again the verse, and then you have this pre-chorus and chorus, and the chorus is repeated 2 times, and then a very long musical break, celebration. It's not a common structure. It's not far from a common structure, but it has something special in that song. What we call in Quebec trad metal, in the world is called folk metal, because trad metal for us is traditional music. The vitality, the energy, the joy, it's a paradoxal song because there are many regrets in the lyrics, but so much joy in the music. Everything in that song lies in that paradox. Okay? Let's go now to the lyrics, the breakdown of the analysis of the lyrics. The pre-chorus and the chorus are very similar. They are all questions. Where? So the person doesn't have the answer, but the person wants something and it's urgent. All the stories of my childhood, the trapdoors to fantasy, imaginary world, a theme that we will find again in the song Human Nature. The song is called Pan. It's about, again, that door opening the imaginary world, the world of imagination. Where are these doors? Where can I find them? How come I can open them only in my childhood? How come I lost the capacity to go to that door and to open it? That's great. That door we might think it's outside of us, but I think the door is inside of us. Where are these doors? Where are they? And at the end, say, where are my tears? And I want them back now. So let's go in the analysis now of the meaning of the song. You will see that there is something quite interesting in that song. First, the key in the song is the progression between what we call the pre-chorus, chorus at the beginning. Then there will be a transition where you will have the pre-chorus, chorus, chorus, and then you will have only chorus, chorus at the end. So everything lies from that pre-chorus to be only the why and the where of the chorus. So what is that precise passage? You remember the two last lines? Where is the trapdoor that takes me there, where the real is shattered by a mad March hare? The real is shattered or transformed or crushed, or the real is transformed by the power of imagination. And where is that trapdoor that will allow me to do that? And these two questions that you have in the chorus at the beginning and middle of the song, they become more and more insistent in now the chorus, which is, before the years take me, I wish to see the lost in me. So the question of the pre-chorus becomes a statement in the chorus. I'm growing, I'm getting old, and I will die. Before the years will take me, I wish to see the lost in me. I wish to reconnect, to see, to have knowledge, to reconnect with that part that is lost. What is it? The part that is lost? It's the trapdoor, and it's where the real is shattered by imagination. Get it? Isn't that great? That's wonderful. So the question becomes more and more pressing with the passing of time and the lucidity that comes with age. I want to see the lost in me. What happened to my tears? Looking back in my past, there is something that I lost that I want to recover, and it's urgent, it's now. Facing reality, time passing, aging seems to represent also the hardening of the heart, or being distant from the better part of ourselves, in which and the facing reality, time passing, aging seems to have hardened the heart, because there are no cries anymore. So, and having no cries in that song is synonymous of losing fantasy and or the joy of imagination. So what is the meaning of this song? Is it a song about escaping reality, or to bring fantasy in reality? I personally vote for the second one. The paradox of this song is that it wants to awaken something in me, in all of us, that might be lost Okay? This whole song is a wish that I send to the universe. I wish, and it's an urgent wish, a pressing wish. I even call it an incantation to fantasy. Come back in my life. Come back, fantasy. Come back, joy. Come back, tears. Come back, youthfulness. And the paradox of the song is it clearly states that there are regrets about something of the past, these beautiful stories that triggered and put life in my imagination. There's a regret of that time, but there's also a joy that I want to convey in the song that I just created. I want to shake my heart, shake my maybe my cold heart, so that the joy, the tears, and fantasy come back in my life. I want it now. I want it. So that's the song for me, from my perspective anyway. I want to read you. You know that I read every single comment you sent. I do that in my few breaks I have in a day. Very fast. I can type quite fast. I'm a lucky man for that. So I can answer extensively sometimes in a snap. So don't worry. Please write down your comment down here. And never forget, you can subscribe and click here. You can subscribe and click on the little bell right beside. You will be notified when there's a video. If you don't receive the notification like last week, it means that I haven't published a video. As for next week, we will see the Song of Myself from the same album. There will be the reaction video to the lyrics video first. Always remember now that I have 7 subtitles languages. The subtitles are in 7 languages. It means French, English, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Romanian, Italian. And there will be also the reaction to a live version. Be there. It will be Song of Myself. The premiere is always on Fridays at 1:30 North American time. It's 7:30 Europe time. Be careful, there will be changes in time. We don't do that in the same during the same weekend at the same time. Just make sure that you won't miss the premiere of the song by receiving a small notification a few days ahead and 30 minutes before. So now it's time to go back to what? To a live version. This version that is it's an unbelievable one. If you haven't seen it, prepare yourself. Not only Nightwish shines beautifully, but the crowd is such a great crowd. I've heard that Latino American crowds are very passionate. Well, you will see that in 3, 2, 1. Hello, Buenos Aires. She's so tall, and when she wears heels like that, my lord. We sing French Party in the Place. Isn't that? I've heard crowds at culture, soccer games singing that, isn't that? Guy.
Wow! Oh, yay! All we wanted were some tears back, but we got a whole song with it.
Yeah. You want to hear a song?
Go, Marco.
It's coming.
Oh, I think they know the song.
I want my tears back. Ladies and gentlemen, hear this crazy city of Buenos Aires.
Yeah, the mix is a nice live mix. Yeah, it will. I'm gonna have to put it with the
I
song.
don't need to tell you anything. You know just what to do.
Yeah, the guitar is a little bit further. Sound of the old. I prefer that version. These drums, they sound great. See? I prefer Marco on this. So that's 4 years after the album.
I want my tears back. I want my tears back now. It's time again. Argentina, show us your moves.
That boo with a big smile. Oh! Pre-chorus for the last time. Chorus. Oh, we tried. We tried. Another time the chorus with the floor. That's it.
I
she's out of breath. All right. She's out of breath, huh?
Dancing! Oh! The whole venue was dancing. What a sight! What an energy! Thank you!
It's a tango country.
Oh, it's a tango country. Meaning by that, no wonder. Oh, tango country? That would be Argentina. Oh, okay. Yeah. A very good mix, live mix. The guitar is a little bit far behind, a little bit further at least, which you still have the energy, but you don't have everything in your face. It gives more space for the keyboards, it gives more space, even for the drums. It gives more space to the singer and to the other instruments. He plays a flute and the uilleann pipes. Of the energy of the crowd. I was wondering how she could go back in the song after dancing like that. But she was able to push the last notes very well done. Such a if you are in a moment of depression, or if you are in a moment of you feel your heart is cold or hard, I would play that song on repeat. I think I will look for trad metal or folk metal to give me that energy shot that I need. And I remember very well getting out of some very grim moments with great music. And there's no doubt in my mind that that song probably brought so much joy in the crowd. And obviously only Marco seems to be very focused, and some very even I would say a little bit not dark, but his eyes, he seems tired, but the rest of the band is just enjoying the moment like crazy. They are feeding on the crowd on this one completely. That was a great video. It's a great song again. See you next week for the song. The song is a Song of Myself. Yeah, I think it's Song of Myself. See you next week.
I want my tears back. I want